Welcome to chat with Chad tonight. I'm gonna kind of let this play down just a little bit, kind of try to see what I can do to kind of fade that out a little bit, like I'm an engineer or something. Hi, everybody with Chat Chimney World, everyone out there on the other channels that I'm broadcasting on. It is a wonderful life, a wonderful day, a wonderful hour to be on here. I actually, if you noticed in my notes today, if you saw what I put out yesterday, today I have nothing to talk about, meaning I have everything to talk about. Um, so I don't have any guests or anything. Good evening, Facebook user. I can't see who that is. If you could just type in who you are, that'd be great. Tonight's, one of those fun nights where, what's going to happen? What are we going to talk about? I'm alone. If anybody wants to click on the thing and come on the show. This is your show. This is everybody's show. I mean, I have no shortage of things to talk about, but you know what? I don't want to bore everybody with just my thoughts and stuff. I want people to come on here and let's meet new people. Let's find new things that are happening around the world, and home service businesses. And of course, we have the chimney flavor going on here because we're chimney entrepreneurs. And so I'm not going to make this about if you didn't watch it, I was on Surefire last night. You catch the replay again. Me and Mark have such a fun time when we talk and stuff. But I mean, I'm going to tell you a little bit about where I'm at, where I've been doing, and I'm really, I mean, we talked about it a little bit last night, but I want to kind of continue a little bit of the conversation. And I'm not here to sell an app. I'm here. I literally put this app together, the Chimney Closer, because I wanted to streamline the training. I wanted to document the training. I wanted to get everything to where you could take someone who knows nothing about a chimney and get him out in the field and be successful and safe. And I know the word safe is not something we like to say, but I mean, I'm just going to say it in layman's term and give a safe estimate that we can get your fireplace performing correctly and where they can go to bed and sleep tonight. And I want that process to be sped up. I want it to be successful. I mean, in June, I had zero. We turned over the entire team except for one guy, and we trained five more guys, and our business has not skipped a beat. I mean, it is. We're checking them, and I'll go through the process. I had a couple people actually message me here, actually in a couple last couple weeks. How did you do it, Chad? How did Master Services do it? Well, I'm going to tell you. So when all the stuff went down, and we were left with no more management and sales, and we were sitting there, I'd lost just a ton of money second quarter, and we're just scratching our heads like what happened. And so I hired a new COO, Terry John, my longtime general manager. So we just kind of sat down together and, okay, what can we do? How do we do this? What's our focus to make sure that we stop the bleeding and then start the healing and start making this business profitable again. And we put a plan together. We got some hiring done. We got some really good hiring done in just a few short weeks. And then we brought them into my office. This very office had a full entire. I have a big, long. I have an 8-foot desk here that I built, and we put it out, put chairs all the way around. We brought everybody in the office, and everything that's on my app, Chimney Closer. We spent 5 days in here going over the process, going all the stuff, that you have to kind of osmosis people to do. We trained on the process, we trained on the scripting, we trained on stuff. And then the very next week, we sent off four guys out in the field, with managers, and then doing, and I'll show you the process of exactly what we do when they go on the field. And the guys just started selling. I mean, our bills at the time, they were around 55,000 a week, and we were selling 60 to 65,000 every week. And which is not a terrible. This is Texas. This was June in Texas, and then it just started going up. And all of a sudden, come into July, we started selling 70,000, and then August came, we kind of stayed at the 70, 75. September came and we just shot up to 90. We were selling between 90 and 110 every week, and it just kept coming. And the guys, are super pumped, to do that. And I mean, when we looked at what we were going to do, and I projected out the rest of the year, sitting there, let's just say June 10th, there wasn't a chance in hell I was even going to hit 3.5 million last year. There's just no way we were going to do it. We beat 4 million, and it was all the management had to stay on these guys. So what do we do? This isn't new. This is my program that I developed a long time ago on how to train someone. And then one thing that I'm very good at is I'm good at training someone to inspect a chimney in Texas. We don't have a lot of clearance and combustibles, but we do have some. And training them on pretty much a masonry and prefabs not that hard, and we did that because we don't have boilers, and we don't have secondary flues that are for heating stuff. We have straight easy chimney and fireplaces. And so train them up, go out there for we train them for about 2 months, which was longer than we'd ever had before. Normally it would be like 4 to 6 weeks. We trained for solid 8 weeks. So now but we let them out a little earlier than that. And what we did is when they go to their first call, or they go to their call, they go in, they do the process that we taught them, and then they write it all up. They do the estimate, they do the inspection, and then they got a call when they're out in the truck, and the manager goes over everything. And then the manager sees everything, sends them back in, take this picture, get this picture. You missing something here, or you did good there. That sounds good. The pricing's off. Let's do this. And then they spend about 5 minutes, and then he goes back in and does it, comes back. Well, now we've got what we want. Everything looks good. And then my manager sells them the job, him in the truck. And the manager goes and sells him the job. Now he's already heard a lot of this stuff, but he sells it again. And then the guy walks in and then sells it or estimates it. And then we do that for one full week when they're out in the field, maybe a little longer sometimes, maybe a week and a half. And then they graduate to they do the same process. And then when they call in the manager, they sell it to the manager. We do that for a week to a week and a half. And then we slowly wean them off of having to do any of it. Now we're just calling up, and they're showing them the estimates and stuff, and we're critiquing it, and then we let them off, and we let them go. And so that's how we get people trained so fast. Um, like it or not, it works. And then with the Chimney Closer app, you can streamline how fast people can learn because now they have all the verbiage, they have it all. They can learn it on their own. If you got someone who's motivated, they're going to learn it, and they're going to be fluent with it, and it's going to work very fast. And so that's how you can take a chimney company that does over $4 million a year, totally turn over the sales force, and get them all going. Now, I don't pray to ever have anyone ever have to do that again. I pray that we never will do that again. I mean, and it's just, it is what it is. So let me say, so let me just kind of bring these up here. So I only see Facebook user, which I said, good evening. And then we had the greetings. And so, hi, everybody. Um, so when it comes to, let me get a little more comfortable here. Um, Building a company that really has to go through these changes and do that, it's a hard way to live. It's a hard way to sit there and go through all that. So what did we do? I started studying all the companies that are over $5 million. What are they doing to hold their people? Why? How'd they get over 5 million? I mean, as a business coach, I'm already good at culture. I'm good at all this. I'm good at the numbers. We're good at that. Now I have to make sure everyone's following that. But here's what it is. What what are they doing that I'm not? And I came to some realizations. 401k and TV. That's what I don't offer my people, and maybe it's because I'm a cheapskate. I never offer 401k, but we're in the process of now of introducing 401k here in the next couple months. And then and I am in the middle of give a shout out to Cumberland Creative. I know they do Mark stuff, they do national stuff, they do Chuck Hall stuff. I don't know who else's stuff they do. They do the videographers, and they can do social media for it and all that stuff. So just had my second meeting with them. I've already hired them a couple years ago did 10 videos for or 11 videos for us. Outstanding job for culture videos and all that. Now they're building me my two commercials that I'm going to be putting out in Dallas and hopefully Houston. And so that is what I'm hoping that will get us over into to the five and above the $5 million mark. And that's what I'm doing that, or I'm not doing that other these other bigger companies are doing. And so I see I got quite a few people watching the show right now. So could if anyone could give me some help here, throw me a bone, like give me some subjects to talk about. Let's I mean I can still start going on different things and stuff. Oh, I want to give you a little funny bone, and this is just a funny thing. You know, I think I'm gonna on Chimney World. I'm gonna pin one of these posts that says which cameras when people ask which camera is the best camera to use. And we get that question every 2 weeks, and it's so funny. It's like I just go, really, just scroll down like literally 1 minute, and you're gonna find the last which cameras, and they're all good. It's just your own preference. So I mean, it's so funny when you see them, and they all get good engagement. I'm just gonna take one of them, pin it to the top. That way, it's always there. And then nobody has to ask anymore which camera to use. It's funny because they are good. They are all good. So, kind of a continuation of what's going on in the news and what's going on when we talk like AI. Let's have an AI conversation. What is AI going to bring to the table? I mean, when you start, and I've been doing a lot of research now that I have this app, and because there's a little AI built into this app and stuff. What does AI really look like in the future? I mean, and especially for the home services and the chimney industry. But let me tell you what I think and what I'm gonna try. I'm just gonna let it out. This is what I'm gonna do. So Mark and I and my brother have a new app coming out called Service Galaxy. Hopefully, it's a CRM to compete with all the other ones, but it's tailored for chimney sweeps. It can work for any home services, but it's got chimney sweep flavor to it. And what's going to be nice about the AI, or we're going to have AI built into this, is one thing I want to do is I want the AI to see my camera inspection and create my inspection form and create my estimate. And then I can review it and it's going to price it out for me. It's going to do everything. It's doing everything. So, hey, Daniel, I haven't done anything with AI and I've got to get on the bandwagon. Yes. Here's like, it's funny. I keep mentioning Mark about last night, and he said it really good last night. If you're not on the bandwagon, you're going to get forced into it because it's going to get into everybody's lives. I mean, you're going to start going places where AI is just going to be, it's going to be everywhere. I mean, there's going to be. I mean, we I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a McDonald's in Fort Worth that has one employee. They say it has zero, but it has one. There's one person at that McDonald's. You literally drive through, you talk, you tell it, you walk up. I don't even know if you. It's like an ATM, I think, and it spits out its food, with a conveyor belt or something to your car. I don't even know how it does it. I haven't been there yet, but people that have said it's pretty cool. And so AI is coming. It's going to affect us all. I mean, Elon Musk says that by 2030, everybody's going to have a robot, or 2040 maybe it was. I don't remember. There's going to be everyone's going to have. It's going to be like the Jetsons. We're all going to have a robot, and I bet you it's going to be even sooner. I mean, and so what is that going to do to our workforce? I mean, um, yeah, so me and Mike Fazy last summer were talking about different things, and this isn't so much AI, but it might come into play. Flying cars and then flying jetpacks and stuff. Think about what a jetpack, if they could really come up with a way to use a jetpack to get up and inspect the chimney. I mean, think about it. I mean, this stuff with the way our technology in our world is working, the stuff that really seems impossible, I think is inevitable. This stuff's going to start happening. Now, it's funny about the flying car because they've been dreaming about a flying car since the car was invented, right? But then they came out with the drone technology, and what are most of the flying cars starting to look like? They look like a small plane, or they look like a small drone. And so, I mean, there's going to be a day where you might literally drive up or fly up and do an inspection with your vehicle. Can you imagine? Oh, we have to change our fleet from trucks to drones. Or maybe you have a drone that you get into an autonomous drone. There's ones that are ATVs now. There's one I saw. It's only 50 grand. You literally, it's like an ATV, except for it flies and it has I think it was a 15 to 20-minute fly time, and it was zipping through the woods, and it wasn't fake; it was real. It was pretty. And my thought was, I can inspect a chimney with that. Yeah, I mean, we could just go get those and inspect chimneys. I mean, there's just what could AI really do? I hate to say this, call center jobs are going to are going away. Eventually, they're going to be going away, and that human element of the call center is going to get taken over by one person managing the AI or managing the call center, and it's all going to be done autonomously. And you already now have it to where, and I haven't done this yet, and here's where I'm behind the curve. I have not put an AI chat box on my website to chat with humans yet. With it. It's not that I don't feel weird about it. I still am holding on to the human element, uh, because I'm a people person and I want my people to be people persons. um, and you know, I'm scared for those for the call center people. I really do think the call center, it's got maybe if we're lucky 5 years left. There's just going to be no need for them, and so because you're going to be able to, like, we're already developing in our CRM where you don't where we built in scripting. It's all part of in the in thing, but you're not going to really, you can schedule your own appointment. And with our routing AI software that we have in our deal, it literally, it'll let you know which, you put in, you want a chimney sweep, you put in where your address is. It's going to look at, the skill level of who might are available to do that job. It's going to go find first available. And when we do roll it out to let the customer do it, we're only going to do it to where it's good for us. It's not going to be first available. And so that's coming. I bet you my app alone within 18 months will probably be able to schedule without having a CSR. Here we go. CSRs are going to look for another future from this information. Absolutely, and there's always the evolution, right? There's always going to be, like I said, there's always going to need to be one or something else, and there will be an evolution of doing different things um, with it. I just signed up for Deal.ai today. That is like a marketing chat GPT, and it does images and different things. I'm hoping that there's things that I can do for the marketing company I have. It already can attach it. You're gonna log it in somehow to someone's website. I haven't started the course yet to learn how to use it, but you can literally put a plugin into someone's website, and you can literally say, okay, I want to. I want. You can tell the Deal AI this. Our SEO is not working very well with these keywords. We need to have a good strong presence of blogs and a couple pages built continuously. And you go through this big long things of how to tell the AI what to do, and it will start spitting out content every day on its own, pictures included, everything. It is amazing. I've been looking at this for months, and finally today I just did the old heck that let's just buy it. And I bought it today, and it's crazy. If your marketing company isn't starting to use AI and ChatGPT and knows how to use it, I actually just, so I got with a guy about a month ago, and he showed me some stuff what he was doing with ChatGPT, and I'm pretty good with it. This guy made me look like a toddler. He plugged stuff in, and I was like, "Holy shit!" And it was literally, he's a business coach, and he was showing me how to build a course. He had ChatGPT build him a course. He spent about 3 minutes typing out how he wanted the course and different things. He hit enter, and in about a minute and a half, it spit out a full course. And as we were reading through it, it was awesome. So then he took the course, one module of the course. He said, "Now take module 1.2 and teach me what to tell and how to teach this course." And then and give me a script of about 2,000 words. And then it spit out his script of what he needed to say about that subject. And when we read it, it was like straight out of our minds. It was like exactly what we would say if we did it. It was like insane. It's like, wow, it just blew me away. I mean, because courses, if you're in my field and the business coaching stuff, I'm going to start building courses and stuff and getting it out there. And so it is AI will AI is not going to replace marketing companies. AI is just going to be the tool for marketing companies, because you're all like I just said. I've been through 3 or 4 courses about Chat GPT and how to use it, and it just keeps getting better and better. I don't think it's ever going to take the place of what to do with it. Now, you might be able to systematically do it at some point without hiring somebody, but there's always going to be someone who's a specialist. We're chimney specialists, right? There's always going to be an AI marketing specialist on how to get better and better and better because you're always fighting Google. And so, Jack, I believe it will come down to which marketing companies can best use it and evolve with the technology. Exactly. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to evolve with the technology and learn it and keep and getting there. And uh, so, I mean, I hired Cumberland Creative to do my commercial, which they had enough footage. They're going to build me the 2 commercials. So with this deal AI, I I'm I'm thinking I can build a commercial myself. It'll literally give me a picture of a leaky fireplace, have it pouring into buckets and rain, and it'll tell me how to do it. I'll do a flavor of, what do I need to say to get the best SEO out of this, and put it online on YouTube and all blah 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 and get it there. And I really think that when I get done with this course, it's going to be able to do that. Let's see. ChatGPT has been amazing for my staff that it is in English as a second language, especially the ability to program the AI. Absolutely. And so, um, chat. So as we, I mean, look at it. AI. I mean, let's get back to what else can it do. So we talk about CSRs. CSRs are eventually going to go away. I think there's gonna start becoming someone's gonna build a camera that's gonna be attached to some program that's gonna be able to give us information that we right away. I mean, the way I envision, the way I'm hoping that I can do this someday is in Service Galaxy when we come out with it, is we can program what the camera sees in in our program, and as the camera video is uploaded into it, if not live, it can see, it needs a smoke chamber purging, right? And it's going to say, it might ask you a couple questions. And I'm hoping an AI can figure out its own measurements to figure out how much it should be. Because you would put in there like the square footage of a purging, how much it's going to take and what it would take. And it would just spit you out a line item or tell you how much it's going to be. It's going to tell you the flue liner size. It's going to look at the fireplace and go, it's sized correctly or it's not. It's going to tell you the flue size. It's going to do all this in just like split second, just from videoing. That's going to happen. That's in our lifetime. That's in the next 5 years, I bet. And it seems like unconscionable right now, but I already know of some things that are happening in the AI world that's going to be coming to, besides what I've already talked about, to our industry in the next year or two anyway. So, I mean, super excited with where all this can go. Think about right now, cars are already driving people around. And so eventually, you know, it's going to start taking, as they get better and better, it's going to start taking over how fast and how far we can go in cars. Um, I think once we start getting to the better tools and this sounds so weird, robots. When we start getting to robots, think about this. You literally could have a mixer robot that could literally possibly mix and then go set up the bucket to have it cranked up to do. I don't even know. It just sounds insane, doesn't it? But it's coming. There's gonna be things like that to come. My kids are growing in a little bit, so I've only got a couple left in the house here. but I got 3 grandkids. I got 2 that are cooking right now, and I got 1 that's born. I would strongly advise them as they're growing up that you need to get into electricity, you need to get into theory, you need to get into engineering and mechanics because that's going to be your future. And they probably already know that, and grandpa would just be some old guy. But I mean, that is, where the younger generation, is going to need to be and go. And so these low level, you know, serving jobs, they're going to get taken away. They're not going to be around anymore. I mean, you're gonna have to educate yourself, and this is where you start seeing all the eclectic movies and stuff that you got the rich people and the really poor people, and it's just because the really poor people they never did it, they never got an education. However, got there, I don't know, but I can only assume they didn't take education seriously and they got left behind while the other class went up and got everything. Well, that we're getting to that world now. I mean, and you have, and I'm not going to get into politics, but I mean, utopia, doesn't exist unless unless everybody works together and blah, blah. And so I'm not going to roll into politics on this. And so I have my opinions, but yeah, AI is definitely something that's coming, that's here, and it's just going to keep evolving. So, I mean, let's talk about this. The AI is already teaching itself stuff, right? Well, it's had so much time. AI has been here for years. I mean, AI has already been working in the military for years. But now that it's starting getting commercialized, it's not going to, I don't believe it's ever going to be CNET and be Terminator where it's going to go crazy like that. I mean, I don't think it will. But I don't know. But think about on the good end of this as it keeps learning and keeps learning and keeps learning. I mean, right now they're just trying to figure out how to get robots to balance. They're starting to get it right now. Well, what happens when all of a sudden you take and as they keep evolving with the AI and a mechanical brain, how it's just going to keep going and balance is going to be easy for them. They're literally going to be able to program a brain to do stuff. So what is that going to leave for you know people literally having it's coming. Robots are coming. It sounds so weird. And so, okay, let's get off the robot thing and let's move on. Let's still, I like the technology space, though. I mean, I really do like it. I mean, I do follow a lot of Elon Musk and stuff, and so, um, but let's bring it back to chimneys a little bit. So, give me some suggestions, everybody, what they think AI could be used for uh, right now in the chimney world. I mean, what else? We got CSRs. We get that. I think the cameras are going to start evolving that way. I know the programs are, and so uh, I'm just trying to think of what else could start evolving as we're brainstorming here. What could start evolving for someone? It takes one idea, and if we all talk about it, maybe one of them who's watching can will go out and start innovating that. And so, um, I don't know. Um, there's kind of at a loss here. I mean, I need some guys to help me out here. What do we got? Anything? Here we go. So what's this say? We already went ChatGPT, amazing second language. Yep. Um, well, I guess we'll move on. All right. So in the chimney business, we're coming up to spring and summer. So let's talk about spring and summer. Texas spring and summer suck. And I coach everybody, even in the East Coast too. It's not always they hate right now. I know you East Coasters, Northeasterns, because you're snowing, it's icing, it's harder to work. You can't get everything you want to do, so it's a little bit more rough to work right now. Well, what you guys are experiencing right now and next month is what we experience in March, April, and May. you know, although it could change it around. And so when we start having more rain and warmer water leaks, I actually had uh, Lee Rolfe call me yesterday or Monday down in Houston. We were talking about some different things. It was really funny. We both kind of almost said it at the same time. We need a hurricane because I mean, especially me, what I know now, what we didn't know on the last hurricane is insane. I mean, you're talking about a 2-year thing. If we have a hurricane in Houston, it would be unbelievable. Okay, here we go, Jack. Let's see. I think we're going to see a big shift in inspection software evolution and how great it could be with the induction of AI. I know FaZe is excited about updating coming soon. Yep. The Mike's update coming soon has got a lot of needed. easier stuff for you to make your life easier. Um, it is really innovating, um, and we're actually going to be getting on it. And so my program does inspection, but I'm not going to wait until June. I think we're in the next month going to be getting on Bare Hands Pro. I mean, I helped him in the beginning, kind of consulted with it a little bit and helped out. And of course, I've been a big fan of it ever since. So let's see here. Drones may allow you to check chimneys without a human getting on the roof. AI can map out the dimensions and repair replacement. So guys, when Jones first, so here's funny. So I'm always ahead of technology. Um, so when drones first came out, I got a drone and started inspecting chimneys with it. I went out there with a couple of guys. I was already retired, but I went out there and I started inspecting chimneys with drones. And the customers loved it. I mean, the customers, they were eating it up. They thought it was cool. Um, but it is the problem with the measurements. You know, the dimensions. The AI can map it out, and I know that that wasn't there when I did it. I'm not quite where I would trust until I saw the app that would measure through the drone to get a cap measurement right and all that stuff. So you'd still have to go up there, you know. But I do think drones are pretty cool. What if we could have a drone that literally could also inspect the chimney that could be where it didn't create wind somehow, that it could go up and down it on its own. I don't know how that would be. I mean, who knows? But I mean, I envision like a Mission Impossible thing where a drone, all of a sudden comes out with four claw, it flies up to the chimney, hovers down on top of it, brings out some legs and like a little stands, and then it drops the camera down and then back up. Pretty cool, huh? And so maybe someone should invent a chimney drone like that. Maybe I just did. Maybe I just gave somebody watching this. That's what we need to do. Invent a chimney drone that does that. Yep. Via cable. Exactly. Drone drops the camera via the cable. And then you come right back up. Yeah, it'd be awesome. It would be super cool. Think about this. Okay. What if we just have the drone clean the chimney too? What if there was a way that maybe the drone could drop one of the old chimney balloons down there, fill the chimney balloon up, clean the chimney, and I don't know. I mean, we're getting out there, right? But I mean, who knows? I mean, that sounds fun, And so now all of a sudden we have a bunch of cleaning, inspecting chimneys drones, and now we don't even have inspectors; we just have laborers. And so, uh, wouldn't that be funny? And so, but yeah, I mean, it really is a fun thing to think about and to watch it happen. I'm super excited to get I mean, I pay off my Toyota truck next month. I'm so pumped. First truck I've ever or first vehicle I've ever personally paid off. And so my first car was given to me by my mom, and it was paid off, but great car for me in my high school. And then every other car I've ever had ever since, I never paid off. I either totaled it or I traded it in. And so that is, I bought the new Porsche, and so Porsche, not Porsche, Porsche, and it'll be a few years before I pay it off. But I can't wait to eventually. I mean, eventually I'm going to get the little thing in my head that I'm going to go buy a new truck. And when I do, you're damn right. That thing's gonna drive itself. It's gonna back up and park itself. It's gonna do. I don't, and I'm not a Ford fan, but if Ford's the only one that does it, by God, I'm buying a Ford. I want a truck that's gonna be the most high tech thing that we could do. You know, I want, and so, but I do love my Toyota. And the thing about Toyota, and back when I bought this one in 2018. There's no thrills on this Toyota. It's just a big ass bad truck. We lifted it up 6 inches, and I got big old 35s on it, and it's a big truck. And the Tundra has the huge back. The kids are on there, have no problem foot space and all that kind of stuff. But I will eventually buy a new truck, and when I do it, it's gonna be the most. So I actually saw the new Hummer. I actually saw a guy driving, and I stopped him, and we were talking about his Hummer. And I go, "How do you like your Hummer?" And this guy's just like spewing sunshine. He's like, It's the best vehicle I've ever owned. And it was an electric one too, the new one. And he's just like, just does everything. And so I actually went to go look at the the Elon Musk one, the whatever truck, and the full stainless steel, and they didn't have one. And they said, well, if you go down to Dallas tomorrow, you could do it. And so um, it that's probably my next truck. I don't need it right now. It'll be a few years before I do. And I want to get this other payment on the Porsche down a little bit, or everybody starts buying the chimney closer app and then help me buy a new uh, Tesla truck. Yeah. So cool. Somebody, Facebook user, I drove the GMC Hummer. I bet it was pretty cool. The guy that owned it was in love with it. So it looked. I love what it looks like. I love what it's about. I mean, I'm not, because let's talk about this. I'm not against electric vehicles. I'm not. I mean, I'm a pretty hardcore right side, Republican. But I mean, I'll tell you, I'm good with innovation. I don't care. I just think that everything should be a hybrid. And I don't care. Hey, if the world could go fully electric and it didn't hurt the environment any more or less, that's the part that is just insanely drives me crazy. You're not saving the world by going electric, because everything that it does and how they mine and everything else, there is no less pollution going electric. You know, if we could save the world and do everything in pollution wise, great. I don't care. But I mean, when it comes to longevity and how far you can go, I believe, I mean, why in the hell can't we have gas and electric in a car? And why are we only limited to roughly 400 to 500 miles? That's bullshit. That's because it's the almighty dollar. I get it. But I mean, I mean, you really could, if you thought about it, they could build a hybrid that went 15,000 miles before you ever had to fuel it up. But they don't. I don't know if you know the story of the guy that invented the steam engine motor. He got murdered, and he just mysteriously died. He invented an engine, got the patent, uh, was gonna start building cars that you just had to pour water, just water, and it ran just like a normal car, pretty much almost an electric car, but ran off of water, and it steam, and it didn't even run off that much water. Well, they murdered him. Someone did, and the patents just hidden or gone now by one of these car manufacturers or the government or something. But yeah, I'm not gonna get into conspiracy theories now, but uh, I used to really like a good conspiracy theory. Now I don't even know if the conspiracy theories are even right. I mean, so much of them have come true. So let's just kind of see. Let's see what Jack has to say here. Imagine the savings, I know, on your fleet fuel if it was all electric and we actually had the infrastructure. That's just it, right? The savings. I mean, so I have a neighbor that had a Tesla, and and the guy, so I was talking to him about the infrastructure. I said, if everybody on the street had a Tesla, the grid couldn't afford it. And he goes into this big long thing and how it could. And I'm like, okay, well, that's not true, because if you look at it, it's a simple, easy numbers game. If you have so many watts or so many whatever coming from each house that's allowed, and now all of a sudden you each one of these cars takes X amount, you add it up, the grid can't take it. The block can't handle it. So I mean, you can fight me and tell me what they're telling you all you want at the dealership, but the fact of the matter is do the numbers. And when you do the numbers on what the grid has, it doesn't support having everybody have an electric vehicle right now. And so, but I also see how a lot of these electric vehicle stuff. I mean, they're not selling. If you've looked, they're not selling them. And so, unless you're buying a Elon Musk car, a Tesla, they're not really selling out. Ford's not selling them. They're actually thinking about closing down. And it's GM of greatly reducing their production of electric cars. And so now the government's trying to force them into it, but they're not selling. And so anyway, let's see here. Lou, robots and conspiracy theories. Interesting episode. I know. Nobody came on today, but I will say this. I mean, when we talk about let's see what Lauren say. Electric cars don't work well in the mountain areas. No, they do not. Did everybody back so last fall, me and Steve Trumbull went, and a bunch of the guys went up to Buffalo, saw Anthony, and we rented a Tesla. Steve did, and so I paid half. And anyway, yeah, we didn't even. No one told us about the Tesla thing. We didn't. Luckily, Steve's sister owned a Tesla, so we had to actually have her help us to start it. We had to call her. How do we start the car? So we got it started. We drove it around for a while, and then through the week we were there for 4 or 5 days. All of a sudden, we needed to charge it. Well, the hotel we had a charger. Well, we didn't know there was something that's called supercharger. You go somewhere to fill up in like an hour and a half or whatever, and whatever. No, we just, well, okay, what's the difference? I mean, we have a charger here. We forgot to charge it overnight, so we'll get up in the morning, we'll charge it, and maybe an hour later we'll have enough charge. Well, we were going up to Rochester or to Buffalo to see the Fogelmachers, and guess what? When we did the math on the charge after we'd sat there for 30 minutes, we didn't have enough charge to get back. We could barely get there, and that's if the miles that it said was going to be real. And so uh so there was that. Okay, they did a calibration study in California and the University from Australia, and the state of CA would have a completely redo their entire electric grid if every car was electric. That's just cars. It's easy math, right? I mean, it is totally easy math um when it comes to but I will say, you know if we did go electric and we could have the infrastructure to do it. I mean, I do like the idea of having our trucks all be electric and all that stuff. If all you have to do is plug them in at night and they go. I mean, I look at it efficiency wise. The efficiency of they don't have to stop at a gas station to do it. I mean, I have a rule, and I know they don't follow it, but I'll just tell you, I have a rule: you're not supposed to get gas except for when you come home. Now, I had Jim Brewer doing some training for us last year, and we have that rule was in effect before they built a Bucky's, like literally at our exit on the highway. So we have a Bucky's right there by our exit. So we went out to dinner, and Jim goes, every one of your trucks is at Bucky's in the morning, and I'm like, well, we're not having an overtime issue right now, so I guess that rules out the door. So I mean, but guys, if you are paying your guys hourly, I will tell you this: have them get gas at night on the way home, and do not allow them to get gas in the morning. The time overtime will be cut dramatically if you have any. All right, here we go, Daniel. I question the longevity of EVs. Horror stories of battery replacements and costs, absolutely, but they're going to innovate that. And I fully think they're going to come up with different batteries or different lifestyle or different a way to combat that. I mean, there's already, Daniel, a shitload of Teslas out there, and we only hear about the few that blow up. But the fact of the matter is, I mean, how many cars blow up? When they tap them on the back, like the old Pinto. By the way, that was my first car, 1975 Ford Pinto. That my grandfather redid a full body job on it with a blue metallic paint. So I looked like in 1988, I had a brand new 1975 Ford Pinto, and that car was awesome. All I had to do was put gas and a can of oil in it every time I got gas, and we motored down the road. And so only thing that ever broke down me was the damn starter. I got really good at replacing starters, and just $25, go to this junkyard and buy a starter. I think it'd take me about 30 minutes to replace it. And so, but yeah, and I'm not a handy guy when it comes to cars, but I got really good at fixing that Ford Pinto my whole high school life and stuff. So okay, same for me. Pinto. What? He had an orange one. Nice, nice. And so I didn't appreciate it back in the time. I was a stupid punk kid. So I ended up I didn't total it, but I definitely put the front hood into a V. And my grandpa, who likes to fix cars, he fixed it all up and gave it to my aunt. And so I ended up buying a motorcycle. So I wrecked it in like February, and this is up in Wisconsin. I wrecked it in February in a snowstorm. Probably had under the influence a little bit, and then I ended up buying a motorcycle like a month later, and was driving a motorcycle even in the snow. Back then, it was my only car to get. It was my only vehicle to get back and forth. And then I went in the Army National Guard that following summer, and ended up not having that motorcycle that long. But anyway, all right. So we talked about robots. We've talked about AI. We've talked about cameras. We've talked about, I mean, the chimney closer. Okay, what else in the future can we? Let's go to the future. Let's stay in the future. What in the chimney business, the chimney world, more can we innovate tonight to give somebody an idea to make things better? So we have the inspection programs. We got that. That's coming. We got hopefully AI cameras. We got drones with cameras. Drones doing inspections. What else tonight can we innovate to give somebody an idea that's going to make our industry just go just insanely better? Um, you know, I just what can we think about, guys and gals? And so, okay, here we go. Here we're thinking electric fireplaces. Too soon? No, 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 no. Let's talk about let's talk about electric fireplaces. So I had an idea. This is funny. I was thinking about this last night. Nobody uses their fireplaces in the spring and summer, right? And so there are the new ones that have the cooling front where you can use your fireplace all day. You know, those super wide ones, and I don't remember what they're all the brand is and stuff that you can use them all year, which is cool because I'm a firebug too. If I could have my fireplace on all year and not get heat out of it when I don't need it, when my AC's on, awesome. I'm not going to spend a remodel to do that on my place, but that would be cool. If I ever build a new house, I will have one of those fireplaces so I can have fire all year. But what if? What if you could build somehow a fireplace front, a glass door, fireplace door somehow that could give the fire the oxygen but be able to shoot the heat back up the like I mean I don't know, have some type of conduction or something to go up to the flue to where the fire never radiates past the glass, and it's an addition to the fireplace. Like you could take a prefab or a normal fireplace now, and you could build a fireplace door that could have you burn all year round, but it took the fire and put it up out of the flue and never induction into the room. Let's see here. Projects the images on the black back of the glass. Yeah, projects the image on the back of the glass. Well, that'd be cool. So there's another thing. There you go. So I've thought about this at times too, where you had a TV fireplace insert, where you could put a TV that would do the real flame on there, and they could have it. Here's funny. So do you guys do this? On Christmas, like even though you have a fire on, you still like when everybody's opening presents and stuff, we still put YouTube on and we put the a fireplace viewing thing on the TV. So it's funny. I have the chair. I always sit in the chair where I can see the TV and the fireplace, and everybody's all around us. And yeah, Yule log. Thank you, Lauren. But there's other ones too. Uh, there are new ones that have the scenes with the dog, and then they change scenes every once in a while. The Yule log is the original old one, which we used to watch that one all the time too. But we like the ones with have the inside where you see the living room a little bit, and you see the fireplace, and we watched that. But if you took the Yule log and made a fireplace door that was a TV screen, have you guys seen the new TV screens that are flexible? They're, they came out a couple years ago and they haven't been a hit yet, but they're all like almost they're gonna. I think the next step. So here we're getting AI, different things they're coming up with. I think you'll get a tablet that's flexible. It's like literally you can't fold it, I don't think, but it's going to be flexible and I don't remember. It's like broken glass, but it's clear and it does. I don't know. I saw it a couple uh probably last summer, and it's a new technology they're coming out with that is pretty cool. But what if you could do that on a fireplace door, and then have to like the TVs that are in the artworks when they're all off? Yeah. What else is this? They're the ones that roll up. They're literally only on CC thickness. Yep. So, I mean, where's our industry going? When are we going to have, you know, what I'd like to see? I'd like to see it to where you could still burn wood, but I mean, I know they have all these different things that make them smokeless, and then we have the converters and stuff that you put in there and stuff and different stuff. But I'd really like to see some technology come out that's gonna make your fireplace to where we can still do old school way something, but probably not getting there. We're probably going to the fact of electric fireplaces that are realistic. I like the hologram stuff. That's pretty cool. We had a hologram fish tank in our old retail store we had, and then we had the fireplace one uh, and stuff. Here we go. Here we go. We're getting ideas now. VR headsets. Well, not quite the same, but yeah. Okay, let's talk about VR headsets. What a great thing to talk about. Um, you think too much technology will be negative? No, I never think so. I never think that. I think I've been living off of building technology is education, in my opinion. And so now technology can be used wrong and can be negative, but but no, technology, in my opinion, is never negative. But let's talk about VR headsets. Think about now. You take a VR headset and you have a program about how to inspect the chimney, how to walk, do a full customer experience with the customer, have that built in with the AI, like my app. But now you're doing it in real time and talking to people with the VR headset. That'd be badass. That'd be really cool. And it's recorded and goes from there. And so so with the Rilla, and there's some other programs out there called Zero and two different ones that Alan Rush has got, and stuff that you can literally record the whole conversation. What about having glasses that record it like visually, and you can take it back and stuff, and you can inspect the chimney like that. I mean, the problem, so here's kind of where you get to Lauren's thing right here. That's where you start getting into creepy shit, though, right? I mean, there's how this stuff technology could really go bad. But yeah, Jack, exactly. The role play with the VR headset, if you could program it to where you're literally driving, you call, you get there, you go up, you walk, you knock on the door. Yeah, I mean, you just literally go through the whole thing, and you're playing with, and they're not, and we're not talking VR cartoons anymore, where they're actual people, that are made on there. It looks as real as it could be. And so, yes, we will all end up like a society from the from Wally. Well, the funny thing is that if you really look at what we've thought in the past of what technologies would be doing, we're we're really never become the dangerous part of it, really, right? So I'm going to kind of be an advocate of. I mean, our lives are going to dramatically change. Think about it. What did this do for our lives? I mean, seriously. I mean, if you'd have told us in 1995 that you were going to have a phone, a TV, this thing called the freaking internet that could give you any information, false or true, about it, no more phone books. This was only what, 30 years ago now, 30 years ago. I mean, seriously, where, what, I mean, where are we going to be at in 30 years from now? I mean, I've literally seen if we get back to robots, I guess I'm a robot tonight. Sorry, Lou. Uh, I've seen robots in the last 6 months. I've seen that I think is a fake video, and I still don't know if they're fake videos because they literally look like it's fake, but I think they're not. And with these robots walking around and doing different things, it's like no. And so, Lauren, okay, I'll first come here. NCSG has come out with classes that are similar to what you're talking about right now. What about a VR headset classes? Well, I'd like to see the program. That's pretty awesome. That's not something that I knew about. That'd be yeah. I mean, training. I mean, education is always, in my opinion, always going to be the best way that you could ever fulfill yourself. Scaling is unlimited. I mean, and to teach people. how to be better and be more successful. If VR headsets weren't on my radar till we had this class, till you guys brought it up, literally Jack or whoever did in the last 10 minutes. Never on my radar. Wow. Got my mind. I'm gonna get off tonight and I'm gonna be going nuts. And how do we take my app, Chimney Closer, and make my app into that? What if you could do that? I mean, where you literally put it on and the script's right there, they teach you how to do it, and then you walk and play through it. Unbelievable. And so, let's see here, Lauren. Disney already uses robots in their parks. Well, they're the evil empire, in my opinion. And I love Walt Disney. I love Mickey Mouse. I'll tell you guys a story real quick. So being a poor chimney sweep, growing up, when I had my older kids, we finally saved up enough to go, like in 2010, to Disney World. And at the time, I think we had we had 4 kids. So my oldest, who's just turned 16, just literally 2 weeks ago, um, she was a little toddler, and we went to Disney World, and it was such an accomplishment for me. It was so I was like, I finally taken my kids to Disney World, and when we finally stood in line to go into the little room where all the princesses were, and then you at the end of it you see Mickey and Minnie. I was a baby. I was crying. I was like so happy for them. And now I'm going to tell you the best thing that happened on the trip. My now 20-year-old Gracie, we're on the bus. So we went through the whole day at Magic Kingdom. We're dead tired. I mean, we're just dragging to the bus to get back to the land of whatever hotels we're in. And the bus is, you could hear a pin drop. Everybody was just beat. And Gracie, literally like a Hallmark commercial, hugs on my little spirit. I go, "Yes, honey." And she goes, "Dad, that was the best day of my life." The entire bus just burst out laughing and crying. It was so awesome. I mean, it kept me up at night. It was so good. It's okay, Carol. We get to Carol. Technology is crazy. Last week I was messaging with a nephew in Antarctica in the middle of the night, seeing pics of his adventures. Isn't that crazy? I mean, it is just insane. And so, uh, um, when I had my 20-year class reunion back in 2010, Facebook was, it was already out for a few years, and so it was such a special time when we went back to our 20-year reunion because we kind of had all kind of reconnected a little bit online, but then when we got to the reunion and it was, we could touch and feel and everyone could hug and spend a couple days together, it just literally felt like we hadn't left high school. It was so cool. And so I mean, I can't imagine having and staying in touch with everybody. And I'm still in touch. My core of guys I went to high school with, we're still all good friends. I mean, we don't do as much stuff as we used to do, but we are all still talking and still doing stuff. So let's see here. It was Heath. Oh, hey Heath. Uh, I think that's my buddy Heath. Is that my Heath from Wisconsin? DiBernardi? Is that you? Say yes. There's Type in here yes. Okay, I'm gonna end this with this one last little thing. Yes, it is awesome, Heath. So let's talk about AI one more thing, and I've already seen this done, and it's AI with health. Think about the health things that they're doing. Like literally. I mean, maybe robots going in there and doing heart surgery and they already have all the microscopic stuff and doing stuff, but think about what it's going to do for our health. I mean, just insane. And so, but guys, this is honestly, it got a little nutty tonight. Hey, we talked chimneys, we talked robots. I mean, come on, what could be a better episode than that tonight? So guys, that's my time. We'll be on next week, and hey, have a great week, and I'll see you next week and see you on Chimney World.